What is up, creatives? This is Tom. Welcome back to another video. So my last video on the Canon 90D focused pretty much specifically on the video functionality of my new camera. However, one comment stuck out to me in the comment section. You guys really seem to enjoy that video, which is really great. However, this comment from XLocoCrazyPR said, I'm thinking about buying a Canon 90D, but I can't find a video anywhere of real life sample pictures. I want to see those pixels in action. So I thought I would go out for a stroll on my daily exercise and I would take the camera with me with this lens, the Sigma 7200mm f2.8, and show you some of the snaps that I got on the way. So normally I would vlog whilst I was out and about on a shoot like this. However, still with the sort of restrictions from the government right now, I wanted to minimize the amount of time that I was outside. So I just went for a walk and snapped away a bunch of sort of street photography stuff and beach and sunsetty style images. So first of all, I want to talk about the lens that I decided to use on this shoot. This one, the 7200mm f2.8. Now, I've previously made a video on my channel because I use this lens a lot on my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. For video, it's seemingly a fantastic choice. Now, this is actually one of the first times I've done an extended sort of photo shoot, an absolute bunch of photos using this lens, and I was kind of middling happy with it. Overall, I think the sharpness was not incredible for a telephoto lens like this. I just don't think you're really making the most out of the Canon 90D's 32 megapixel sensor. However, I was still able to get some really gorgeous images, and I think it's testament to the color reproduction on the 90D. You get some really gorgeous raw files that you can really sort of grade and edit in Adobe Lightroom to basically make the colors really punch and really feel quite natural. The Canon 90D is actually the largest APS-C sensor that you can buy right now in a DSLR, so it really does mean that you're getting a ton of detail from that sensor. Once you've exported from RAW to JPEG, your final JPEG files, some of them range to like 19 megabytes, about 7,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels. Full-size JPEG export, I believe, is 6940 by 4640. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. If not, I'll correct it on screen. But the sort of JPEG files that you get after export are just really big and full of detail. I want to talk briefly about the biggest difference. Obviously, having shot with Sony cameras for the past few years, it's a big change for me to go back to a DSLR. Obviously, the mirrorless system to a DSLR system is quite a big change. The biggest thing is the difference of having to sort of look through the viewfinder on every single shot. That was a real change for me. Obviously, you can flip to live view, but it's just not really ideal. So there is an advantage with things like the Sony E-mount system where you can just flip and articulate the screen. You don't really have to be looking through the viewfinder, so you can shoot sort of from the hip or up above your head, and that's quite a sort of a nice feature to have. However, it has been a bit of an adjustment for the 90D. However, just something about that, it just feels like you're just doing more of a natural job in terms of photographing. Like, it feels more tangible, the camera's more chunky, you're looking for the viewfinder on every shot. And that's quite a nice feeling to have as someone who's been shooting mirrorless for a good few years now. Something else I want to briefly talk about is the autofocus on the lens. So as I mentioned, that was the Sigma 7200 f2.8, and that was the it's not the sport art version of that lens, it's the slightly cheaper previous generation lens. But the autofocus using the dual pixel autofocus on the 90D was really exceptional, especially for an older generation lens. That really impressed me. There wasn't a ton of misfocus, and I was using the sort of predictive zone autofocus, and it just meant that I was able to pretty much on every shot nail at least what it basically thought was the most significant thing in that composition, and most of the time it got it right. If it didn't, I was just sort of moving around my camera, half pressing to get focus and then pulling back to the subject that I wanted to snap. And then also another significant thing, which is just an absolute lifesaver with the 90D, is the battery life. The battery life on this camera is exceptional. So I went shooting with this lens last night, and that's where you're seeing all of these photographs from. And I just charged one of the batteries to full, and the camera's still on full, and I shot for about sort of hour and a half to 2 hours, and I'm shooting this video inside without charging the battery up, and it's just one little notch down on the battery. In fact, I think it actually might be full on the battery, so it really is a really strong battery life. If with just 2 of these batteries, you're going to be able to shoot for a full day with no problem at all. So there you go, those are some samples and some thoughts about shooting with the Canon 90D. Obviously, we're still in lockdown mode right now, so these are the type of videos that I'm just able to do, go out and shoot something for a brief walk and then talk about it here. But if you guys have any questions or suggestions for future videos, just let me know down below in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts on this camera, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.